you very much. Welcome to Billy's Bike Adventures Live. Now, you may or may not know, I'm sure more people will arrive pretty soon. So on my channel, I advertised that I was given a giveaway tonight, and that is a phone cradle that comes with that actually sits on top of the BMW sat nav preparation. If you don't have a BMW or sat nav preparation of BMW, the cradle will actually sit on your bike on the handlebars of the bike anyway. And because the reason I'm doing the giveaway is because I did a review of this particular cradle a little while ago, and it's been pretty successful on my channel. And as a result of that, and thank you very much for those that have purchased that particular product from the link on my channel, I get a little bit of marketing money from those companies that advertise on Amazon with those links. So thank you. If you have purchased one, thank you. But what it means is, as I get those revenues, and it's only very small, I accumulated about £60 from these cradles. And what it means is that I can actually purchase 3 and then give them back to you, the community, as a way of saying thank you very much. Thanks for being a supporter of Billy's Bike Adventure, and thanks for supporting the channel by purchasing the products from the link. So I've got 3 of these cradles to give away. Now, if you haven't seen what they look like, this is actually what they look like. So that's the actual cradle itself, and this on the back you've got the pins here that connect to the BMW Motorrad sat nav preparation. Now, and what it means is that it actually you've got some USBs on the side there, so you can actually charge your phone as well as you go. So they're pretty useful things. Now, I've got one of these on my BMW. If you don't have the sat nav preparation for BMW, it also comes with this mount just for your handlebars as well. So you can actually use this even if you haven't got a BMW sat nav. And the cable that comes with it, the USB cable, USB, and then you've got two charging points that connect to the phone. This is a micro USB-C, and this is the typical Apple Lightning plug-in. So that's the charging. That is the bracket as well. So let me know who's on as well. We've got 6 or 7 people watching at the moment, which is great. So thanks for dialing in, Adrian. Thank you very much. And you've just had your new S1000XR TE today. Very nice, mate. Very nice indeed. Was it delivered, or did you actually pick it up from the dealer and ride it home from the dealer? Let us know. If it's your first one, let me know what you first thought of it when you rode it home. I don't know if you test drove it before, but if you did, it'd be good to know what you think of it as well. We've got Motorcycle Wild Camper on as well. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Thank you very much. Good to have you along this evening. Picked it up from Chester. Adrian, you picked it up from Chester Motorrad. Very nice. So you got the chance to ride it home. If that was your first one, I hope it was a nice ride actually on your way home. And maybe the wrong time of year to have picked it up, but at least you've got it. That's fantastic. It's home in the garage, and hopefully a few more days, a little bit further north than me. I'm in Cambridge. You guys are a little bit further north than me, so we're all experiencing the wet weather at the moment. But I hope you get a chance this weekend, if it's going to be dry or dryish, to get out and give it a real test ride as well. So enjoy that, mate. Really enjoy that. Love it. Great sunny ride home, 19 degrees C. Perfect. Nice, mate. That's good to hear. So we've got a few other people. So let me know who's on as well. I can't actually see who's on. So if you go to the message section or the chat function and just let me know who you are, who's watching as well. It'd be great to know where you are in the world, where you are in the UK, if you're UK based. And if you entered the draw as well, it'd be good. We've got 14 people that have entered the draw, and this little bag here houses a couple of ping pong balls with 1 to 14 on there as well. So we'll be doing the draw like that. So let me know in the chat who else is watching as well. Now, I don't know if you've seen the news recently about BMW. So before we get into the draw, just one topic to talk about. BMW have announced that they're going to be putting a wider TFT screen onto their bikes. And it won't be the GS, unfortunately, until next year. And what the bigger TFT screen means is that we can actually have our navigation on the screen as well, which will be really interesting. So there's a couple of things for me. I think one is that the Wonder Wheel. So how is that going to work in the future? Because I'm guessing if we have maps on the screen, that we may not need to have a sat nav anymore. The BMW sat navs are quite expensive, and I purposely bought these cradles to use my phone because I think smartphones nowadays are much more capable, or as capable as any sat nav at doing what you need to do. That's either getting from A to B, and there's plenty of navigation apps out there that will allow you to do multi-stop routes as well. So I never plan on purchasing another sat nav as well. The cradles are superb, and I'm very happy with that. But with the larger TFT screens that are coming this year for BMW, next year I think for the GS range, we may not need to have those sat navs anymore, and we can rely on our phone. So I'll be interested to see if they are developing the Wonder Wheel technology to work with the Motorrad app. I have fed back to BMW Motorrad recently about the Motorrad navigation app. Unlike other apps, it doesn't display what's coming up for your next junction. I know it goes through the TFT screen and the turn by turn on the display, but actually on the map, I think like Google does, it's nice to have the mileage, the distance that you've got left to do, the time that you're expected to arrive. So all of that information. So I fed that into BMW Motorrad, and hopefully, I mean, they're not going to do it just because of me, but hopefully I'm one of quite a few people that have fed that information, and they will update at least the app, the navigation app, to present that information on the maps when you're actually using it. I'm really interested. I think I'm going to get in touch with BMW PR as well, and to find out, first of all, when the GS is going to get the TFT screen, the larger TFT screen, but also are they working the app to be able to work with the Wonder Wheel? Because I'm just guessing that we're not going to need the sat nav devices anymore, because of the fact that the Motorrad app will now be displayed on the larger TFT screens when the GS range actually get them. And I think it's next year, but I'm not exactly sure the date of next year. So I'm going to get in contact with BMW marketing and PR and the comms agencies, and I'm just going to try and find out when they're actually going to be doing that, because I think that'll be really, really exciting. And then we don't have to keep spending £500 or £600 on these expensive, pretty useless sat navs that are not always as good as mobile phone navigation. So, Mr. Whiskey, welcome. Great to have you on board. Yes, you are in the draw, Mr. Whiskey. Absolutely, you are. You're one of the 14 people that are in the draw for today. So thanks for dialing in. Thanks for watching today. Other people that are watching as well, let me know who you are and where you are, either in this country or if you're overseas. We've got quite a number of people overseas. Let me know where you are in the country or the world as well. It'd be good to know who's watching and where you're watching from today. I hope you're all keeping safe as well. From Adrian Watkins, Stoke-on-Trent. Welcome, Adrian. Thanks for dialing in. Thanks for being part of the Billy's Bike Adventures community. I hope you're all keeping safe from COVID as well. Fortunately, down here in the southeast, we're not experiencing any increased restrictions at the moment. But of course, Wales has really closed its, well, I mean, it's literally almost closed its borders. I don't think there's many places left in Wales that are open for business. And hence, I was going to do a ride a couple of weekends ago to Wales, and I was going to do the whole of the coast of Wales over a number of days, and then obviously stream live whilst each day doing that, and then put a couple of videos on afterwards. But I couldn't do it, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do it for a while now, by the looks of things, with Wales closing down the way it is as far as COVID is concerned. Scotland's hot on the heels of what Wales are doing. England's a little bit different, and here in the southeast we're okay at the moment, but I'm sure it won't be too long before we're not really able to ride too many places without having to get accommodation, and that's pretty much going to be closed down by the looks of things. So I hope you're keeping safe and well, and that nobody that is watching has been affected by COVID, or any of your family or friends. Gary, thanks for dialing in. Oh, Cumbria, lovely part of the world. Really nice. I was up there a couple of months back. on the BMW, just doing a number of the passes that are recorded that are on Billy's Bike Adventures. So welcome, Gary. Thanks for watching. Anybody else, let me know where you are in the world, in the UK, or if you're overseas, let me know where you are overseas. Right, so I think with that, let's get down to the first lucky winner of these phone cradles that I put onto Billy's Bike Adventures, a couple of months ago now. So it's been a bit of a long wait. So in here are the 1 to 14 names, and on a rough notepad, I've got numbers and names of people there. So corresponding numbers to corresponding names. So just so you can know that this is not fixed. The numbers are, so there's number 14, there's number 1, there's number 9. So yeah, none of the numbers have been duplicated, so everybody's got an equal chance of winning. So I'm going to go with the first one. Turning away, grabbing a ball, and the first lucky winner is number 2, and that is Stephen F67, my good friend up in Scotland, mate. Well done. You are one of the first lucky winners of the cradle for the BMWs that sit on top of your sat nav. If you don't have it, I think you do actually for your BMW, I think. So first one coming to you, my friend. What you will need to do, Stephen, if you are watching, if not, I will get in touch with you. I will leave you a message, but if you are watching, do send me your postal details, and I'll get that in the post to you over the next couple of days, first class. So well done, mate. Great job. Thanks for being part of Billy's Bike Adventures. And the nice thing is that I've actually got an affiliate program going with Amazon, and yesterday I extended my Amazon affiliate program to beyond the UK, so a few other European countries. What that means is that more people are buying the cradle. So once I accumulate another 60, 70 or 80 pounds, I'm going to buy some more of these. They seem to be really popular, and so I'll do another free giveaway when the time comes. So if you're not a lucky winner tonight, don't worry. I'll probably be doing it again in the future as the proceeds from people buying the cradles come to Billy's Bike Adventures. So thanks for doing that. So Steve, you've got a congratulations from Motorcycle Wild Camper. Now then, let me know your thoughts on the larger TFT screen. Are you in favor of the larger TFT screen on the BMWs? And are you in favor of the fact that we'll now have much more information displayed on the TFT screen with a visual of the map from the BMW Motorrad navigation? So let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Is it a good thing? Is it too distracting? I'm going to be looking to talk to my local BMW dealer and trying or testing one of the bikes that get it this year. I want to test the bike. I'm not sure what bikes they're going on, but I know it's not the GS, unfortunately. But when they do, I want to test it and let you guys know what I think of it. I've seen a picture of the actual TFT screen, and it really does look really big. And a lot of information, but I'm not sure if it'll be too distracting or not. I suppose no more distracting than having the phone sat in the cradle just above the TFT screen anyway. So from that respect, anybody who's got a sat nav or a phone, it's probably no more distracting than what it is. So looking forward to it. That in comparison, now I used to be a KTM man. I've had the 1190 Adventure, I've had the 1290 Super Adventure R, and the 690 Enduro R. The 1290 was the first one with the TFT screen that I had for KTM. In comparison, the KTM My Ride navigation app is absolutely appalling. BMW, I don't know if you've seen my review on KTM versus BMW, the bikes. So the 1290 Super Adventure R versus the R1200 GSA, the Rallye that I have. And in that, I talk about the bikes overall, but also beyond the bikes, the service of the navigation app. So BMW Motorrad is a free app that connects with my TFT screen and works seamlessly every single time. KTM My Ride navigation app, still to this day, I'm still getting messages about the fact that the app doesn't always connect, or the phone doesn't connect with the TFT screen, and every time they switch the bike on or off, they have to reconnect their phone, and it is an absolute nightmare. And by the way, they charge you $7.99 for their navigation app. I mean, they might as well just send a barrel for me to bend over when they put that on the App Store, because it is I think it's an appalling app, and it's appalling. So I don't know if KTM themselves actually make it, or they have an agency that they've employed to do it for them, but they're obviously not listening to the feedback from KTM riders, because I get a lot of complaints from Billy's Bike Adventures viewers about that particular app. And I have to say, all credit to BMW, the way that their app works. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the perfect app, and as I said earlier, it could do with displaying the time, the distance left you've got to go, the arrival time on the actual screen when you're viewing the app on your phone. Apart from that, the app supplies a great deal of information, and it works really, really well. Seamless connection with my phone, and the app works really, really well. So all credit to BMW. And I've got a couple of YouTube Billy's Bike Adventures viewers that are like really stoic KTM people that are actually moving away from KTM, unfortunately. The bikes have become a bit temperamental. The app and the connectivity with the TFT screen is a little bit disappointing. So I'm probably not going to head back that way for quite some time to come, until they can get their act together with how they offer not just their bikes, but all the services relating to the connectivity and the electronics of their bikes. So while on BMW, now let's do the second draw. Second lucky person for a KKMoon phone cradle. So if you've just joined, I've seen the numbers go up and down. If you've just joined, let me know where you are. Hey Billy, you're the expert. Why is my KTM 1190 rear brake binding? That's one thing I can't advise you on at the moment, Mr. Whiskey. Yeah, good question. I'll have a look into it for you, though. I'll do a little bit of research, see if I can find out why, and let you know. I didn't experience that with my 1190. I have to say, it was a brilliant bike, the Adventure. I didn't have the Adventure R, though, which I wanted. But yeah, so I don't know. Let me do some research, and I'll come back to you and hopefully be able to give you an answer on that, if that's okay. So here we go. Anybody that's just joined, let me know where you are, who you are, where in the world, the UK, that you are from. We've had one lucky winner already, which was number 2, and that was Stephen F67. He's based up in Scotland, so that's going to be winging the cradle his way once I get his address details. So in here, 14 people. We've got 13 balls left in here. I'll close my eyes and look away. And let's see who the next lucky winner is going to be. Number 7. And that number 7 on my sheet is Gary Dixon. Congratulations, Gary. I don't know if you're watching, but Gary Dixon, lucky winner number 7 for the second KKMoon phone cradle. If you're watching, let me know your address details, and you will be receiving one of these cradles. So congratulations to you. We've got one more left to do. And before we do that, I am looking to add another bike to my collection. And it's more along the lines of the KTM 690 Enduro that I had. I'm not going to be getting the 690 again, but I'm wondering about either the 790 or the T7 from Yamaha, the Tenere, and the rally version that they've just released. I'm not going to be getting it this year, probably be getting it next year, just in time for the summer, and to be able to do a couple of trips on some TET trails, particularly in the UK. Now, a mate of mine and I went to the Pyrenees last year on the 690 Enduro Rs. And we had a blast. We had an absolute blast. A long way to go, actually. So we got the ferry and we went down to Santander, and then we rode across back into France for our first camping night before we hit the trails on the Pyrenees, on the French side of the Pyrenees. Long way to go, because whilst we had an absolute blast for the first 4 or 5 days, unfortunately, whilst both of us, and if you watch the tech video on Billy's Bike Adventures, I can't remember how many minutes in, but you'll see that I have a couple of problems trying to get up quite a steep trail that's got just essentially house bricks buried into it and sticking up everywhere. Now, the professional enduro rider would watch that and go, what a wuss, what an absolute amateur. And you're absolutely right, yes, I am. But I had a couple of offs, and unfortunately, my mate had an off as well that put paid to the rest of our trip. He broke his ankle, unfortunately, due to a nasty fall that he had. It wasn't fast; it was a slow fall, but unfortunately, just did damage to his ankle. Put paid to our trip. As a result of that, he couldn't stand up on the pegs on the bike, and we had to, cancel the tech trip. And because we were down in south of France, we had to ride a few days back north to the Eurotunnel to get back to the UK. On the 690s, it was like riding on a plank of wood. But I guess the point of the story is, if you're going to go somewhere and do a trip like that, be prepared or have a fallback plan so that you don't have to do what we did, and that is 3 days driving back up or riding back up on the bike. So it's quite uncomfortable, especially for my mate. So perhaps next time I might take it down on the back of a trailer, or in the back of the van, or probably just do the UK TET first of all, I think. So who else have we got that's joined? Smudgas Smith, KTM. Now let me guess what kind of bike you probably have. Probably a KTM, and I don't blame you. Good bike, really good bike. I've had 3 KTMs. I've switched to BMW for the time being. Don't know how long it's going to be, but certainly not an off-road bike from my perspective. I will not be taking the behemoth that is the Adventure Rallye TE, the R1200 GS. I won't be taking that off-road. The front wheel's too small. The top end of the bike, the front end of the bike, it's just a behemoth of a machine, but probably the best bike that I've ever ridden, the most comfortable bike that I've ever ridden for touring on. But it's not a bike that I would take off-road. Having said that, I do like to take my bikes off-road. I did take both my 1190 Adventure and my 1290 Super Adventure R off-road, and loved it. But just the nature of the small wheel on the smaller wheel on the front of the BMW, plus it's just a behemoth, the weight of it. My skill level of riding, I don't feel comfortable taking it off-road just yet. So thanks for messaging. Casper, hey Billy, from a town called March, just north of yes, I know March. I rode to there the other day, actually, Casper. For your new bike, have you considered a Husqvarna? Yes, 901. I haven't seen one yet, actually. The Husqvarna Norden 901. They look properly good, I have to say. I totally agree with you. Essentially a KTM again, right? But they look properly good. I must speak to KTM about. I don't know if we have them in this country yet. Do we, Casper? I'm not sure. If you let me know, let me know in the message. It would be good to know. But once we do have them, if we have, I'm certainly going to have a test ride on them. The 901, yeah, I think it'll probably be a bit weighty. I'm probably not looking for something as powerful as that, especially for going off road. But I will give it a go because it looks a properly nice bike, I have to say. So very excited about that. Smudgas Smith, apologies if I'm not saying that properly. Smudgas Smith 1. Hey Billy, just traded my KTM 250 EXE stroke for a 790 Adventure R. Very nice. Really nice. I'm not quite convinced yet on the lower down fuel tanks. I'm really interested. I've not heard any horror stories, by the way. The only stories I've heard about the fuel tanks that are lower down on the 790R is that they're quite amenable to a knock or two. But I've not heard of anything getting punctured or cracking. And that's why I didn't get one when they first came out, because I wasn't sure how they were going to perform. But it's a nice bike. It's a really nice bike. But I probably wouldn't get it. I know that the T7 is just as heavy, even though it's got less things on it. The T7 is quite a heavy bike for what it is as well. And I do fancy the T7, so I think it's a little bit higher seated than the KTM. I need to suss out the facts on that particular bike. But yeah, can't quite decide. I will test ride them both when I get closer to deciding which bike I'm going to go with. but it will include the 901, the Husky 901, the 790 and the T7 as well. So a good few opportunities for reviews coming up. Casper, we don't have them in the UK yet, should be released next year. They also have plans for a Norden 501, but I think that's for the year after. Yeah, I don't think I can wait till 2022. Looking forward to the 901 next year, but I'll definitely give it a try. It does look a really nice bike, very sexy bike actually. So we'll see what that looks like. Thank you all for your comments. Keep them coming in. Really happy that you all dialed in today. Now, last cradle up for grabs. We've got 12 numbers left in here. So 1 in 12 chance. So let's see who the lucky winner is. And it is number 12. And that on my list is Mark Smith. So there we go, just so you can see. I don't know if you can see that properly, but yeah, Mark Smith, thank you very much all for entering the competition. And here is your winning number. Thank you very much. Now, to everybody that entered, do not despair. As I mentioned earlier, because of the way that these are selling like hotcakes off Billy's Bike Adventures, the link in the review video for this, I get a little bit of commission each time one is sold, not much, but over a period of time, I acquire enough money, and that's how I got these actually, was that I paid for these out of that marketing money that I got for them. So it's not a great deal of money that I get, but because I do get it, I think the right thing for me to do would be to spend that money giving something back to the Billy's Bike Adventures community. So it's building up again. So I will be purchasing more of these, and I will be doing another draw just in time for Christmas, if not a little bit before, and probably another 3 of these, if not 4 or 5 potentially, depending on how things go. So if you're not a winner tonight, don't worry, I will be doing more. If you can wait a few months or a couple of months until the next draw, but I'll be announcing that pretty soon, because we'll be doing that just before Christmas. So thank you to everybody that has taken the time to enter the draw. Thank you very much for dialing in tonight. I'm happy to stay on chatting. If anybody's got any more questions or comments that they want to leave in the chat box, that will be really, really, really good. Dave, how are you, mate? You've just logged in. Unfortunately, Dave, you weren't a winner tonight, unfortunately. But I was just saying to everybody that's on at the moment, thanks for joining the community and being part of the community and taking the time to enter the competition. I was just saying that the sales of the cradle have gone so well, actually, off the back of the review that I've done, that I'm accumulating a little bit more money so I can purchase some more of these cradles, and I'm going to be giving away some more cradles again before Christmas. So if you can hang on a month or 2 before Christmas, I'll be doing another draw with some more of these cradles. So don't despair if you weren't a winner tonight. I'll be sure to be doing some more. No problem at all. Yeah, thanks, Dave. It's your channel. That's my gift. That's very kind of you. Do keep the comments coming in. I do love all the suggestions. So any suggestions that you have for content or reviews that you want me to do, it would be great to hear that from you. Motorcycle Wild Camper, well done, Mark, and thanks to Billy for a great channel. Thank you very much. Glad you appreciate it. It's always good to know that the content that I am doing is interesting, funny, or gives you food for thought about things that you're up to. But thank you for the kind comments. I will continue to produce content for you. By the way, make sure you share this with as many people as you can. Get other people to subscribe. The more people that subscribe, the more popular the channel becomes. And I do get, and what it enables me to do is to do reviews like this and then purchase things to give back to the community. So the more people that dial into the channel, the better as well. So I'm very much a one for making sure that I give back to the community, as they are very loyal to me. So thank you very much for that as well. So that is the draw done. Thank you very much. I'm again happy to stay on. Dave, I know you've just joined, so I guess you've been pretty busy, but if anybody's got any other questions or comments that they want to leave in the chat function, let me know. but I'll be signing off pretty soon unless there's any more comments or chat from anybody. Let me know. If not, we can sign off. Let me know in the chat function. Adrian, great show and chat. Billy, thanks for sharing. Stay safe. You too. Stay safe from COVID, Adrian. Thanks for dialing in. Smud Gassmith. I'll get it right one day. How is the Aero Commander holding up? Good question. So I actually went out with the Aero Commander. Here it is. So let me tell you a little bit more about why I got the Aero Commander. So I've had two Rallye Tour X4s. Okay, brilliant helmet, premium price, but brilliant helmet. The reason that I've changed helmet from Rallye Tour X4 to Aero, or initially to a different helmet, was because of the peak on the Rallye Tour X4s. What happens with this peak, I've found over time, it's not vented well enough, and as a result of that, I get a lot of wind capture that just flicks the helmet back to the side. And when I'm riding, I can actually see the peak on this Rallye Tour X4 actually twisting in the wind, so it doesn't actually vent very well. And because of that, I actually wanted to get a different helmet. I saw this beauty at the last motorbike show. Obviously, we're not having one this year, but last year I saw this and I really liked it. I've never had a helmet that's got the sun visor inside it, and I do worry about what Aero have given up on safety to have these goggles inserted into the helmet. That said, it's a super light helmet, really nice. The peak on this helmet is brilliant. It hardly moves at all. It's pretty solid actually, and even though it is a little bit flexy, as you can see, it's actually very well vented, and because of that, I don't get any sudden wind capture on the peak, and it doesn't pull my head back to one side. If you've not seen the review of this helmet, the other thing that's really brilliant about this helmet is that the visor is a much broader view than the Rallye Tour X4. So when you're doing your safety check on looking over your shoulder, just make sure that the lane next to you is clear. You get a much more better view out of this visor because it's actually broader in nature than the Rallye Tour, the Tour X4s. So that's the other reason I really like this helmet, really safety thing. I was out all day last weekend, a little bit rainy, a little bit wet in parts. And what I noticed is that the visor doesn't vent very well. So you've got vents at the front here. Now I have my GoPro on the front. I have my GoPro on the front here. I was filming. I did have my vent open, and I could feel a little bit of the breeze. And just at the top in here, you've got a vent as well. It's not enough to vent out on a moist day. On this side of the helmet, I was getting a little bit of fogging on the inside of the visor. Now, a pin lock might do away with that, and hopefully it will. But it didn't vent very well. So I spent most of the day, because of the damp in the air, with a little bit of fogging on this side of the lid. It wasn't enough to obstruct my view, but it was just a little bit annoying. I could see it out of my right eye. So it didn't vent very well. So that's the only downside I've found so far about this gorgeous looking helmet. Really light on the head, much lighter than the Tour X4s. And I really like it. I really do. I'm just waiting to get a new comms system. I don't know if you've seen a couple of the other videos that I've done recently. I almost got caught out. By a new, well, not a new company, but a new product that I saw recently. If you haven't seen the video, it's on the channel now. But essentially, it's called Domio Pro, and it's essentially a system that just sits on top of your helmet, and there's no internal parts, there's no internal cables or anything. It's all Bluetooth. So it's a unit that sits on top of your helmet or at the back, depending on where you want it. And the Domio Pro actually vibrates, micro vibrations. The technology is that it uses the helmet to distribute the sound within the helmet. So, I mean, really brilliant technology, right? But the company's bloody awful. Ordered it, they made promises that they couldn't keep, given an opportunity to for a number of opportunities to send me the product or give me a date when the product was actually going to arrive. They couldn't do it. I asked for a refund. They didn't give me a refund, so I had to go through my credit card. So I'm looking for a new comms unit now for the RI. For the Aero Commander. I'm thinking that it might be Senna or what's the other one? Cardo. So I'm thinking about the Cardo as well. But Aero Commander performing really, really nicely. I'm going to try it with the pin lock insert as well to hopefully help with the fogging of that as well. But I am enjoying it. It is a really nice helmet. So good question. Thanks for the question. Mr. Whiskey, boo-hoo. Maybe next time. Keep you going, Billy. Talk soon. Whiskey, yeah, mate. You look after yourself, mate. Thanks for dialing in. Thanks for all the questions as well. Recently, you've been on my case, getting some information out of me. So I hope it's all been useful for you. And thanks for engaging with me. Really love it. Keep it up. Really enjoy it. So thanks very much for that, Mr. Whiskey. So has anybody got any more questions or comments they want to make about any content they want to see on the channel or anything else that they want me to do? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. What do you think of the channel? Does it give you the information that you want? Is there anything that I don't give you that you would really like me to do? Next couple of videos coming up, I'm going to be preparing the BMW for winter. It's coming up for a service on the 21st of October. And when it comes back, I'm going to be doing a check on the final drive. So watch out for that video, because that's going to be a video on the final drive, just to see what the final drive looks like on my bike. Hopefully it's not too rusty. I'm hoping that the seals on the plastic sheathing that covers the final drive, where you get access to it, hopefully it's been waterproof enough not to let in any water. So keep watching for that, because that's going to be an interesting one to see what the final drive looks like. We've seen some right horror stories. I don't think BMW actually service it as part of the servicing either. So I'll be looking at that. So stay tuned for that. So any more questions? No more questions or comments. So let's bring it to a close. We've been 40 minutes, so absolutely brilliant. Thank you for everybody for dialing in and watching tonight. Sorry if you're not, apologies if you're not a winner. Casper, if you're looking for a product review, I've got a eastbound motor winch. I have no idea what that is, but I will. If that's a joke on my behalf, you may have to explain to me. It might have gone over my head. If it's not, I might have to do some research on what that is, and I will do a review on it for you as well if I can. But I suspect you might be having a laugh at my expense, Casper. If not, let me know. It'll be good, and I'll do a review on it. I'll do a Google search on it as well. But thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate your support on the channel. Get your friends to subscribe as well. The more people, the better. The stronger the channel gets, and the more I can do for you. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you again very soon. Cheers. Not a joke. Have a look into them. Take care. Yeah, I will. Thanks, Casper. I had no clue what it was, so I will look into it, and I will see if I can get hold of one and do a review for you. So thanks for that suggestion, much appreciated. Stay safe. Yeah, thank you very much, Smud Gas Smith. Thank you very much. Stay safe, ride safe, stay safe from COVID. A lot of people not following the rules and the regulations. Stay safe from COVID. Look after yourselves. And the more that we do that, the more that we can get back out into places like Wales and Scotland and beyond the borders, hopefully in time for next summer. So stay safe, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers, guys and gals.